You have already seen yourself avoiding social meetings or group activities because of that intestinal embarrassment that seems to emerge in the most inoperative moments. That one feeling of intestinal gases that causes not only physical discomfort, but also socially embarrassing situations? If you are over 60 and faces frequent flatulence problems, know that you are not alone. This problem affects approximately 60 to 70% of people in this age group, becoming not just a matter of discomfort, but a true impact on life and socialization. The good news? The solution to this persistent discomfort may be much more close to what you imagine, directly on your plate. Recent research reveals amazing connections between certain food and gastrointestinal health, especially in the more mature body. In this article, we will explore 5 specific foods with scientifically proven properties to combat the excessive flatulence in people over 60. It's not about eliminating completely a natural process of the body, but to rebalance the digestive system, to significantly reduce the discomfort and embarrassment associated with excessive intestinal gases. Why does flatulence increase after 60 years? Before we dive into foods that can transform your digestive health, it is fundamental to understand why the production of intestinal gases tends to increase with the advance of age. After 60 years, several factors contribute to the increase. This problem: decreased digestive enzymes, pancreas and intestine produce less enzymes, hindering the proper breakdown of foods; changes in intestinal microbiota, imbalances that favor producing bacteria; gas; reduced intestinal motility, slower transit allows greater fermentation of food; weakening of abdominal muscles, makes controlled elimination of gases; side effects of medicines, many common drugs in the elderly, change the digestive function. Dr. Ricardo Mendez, gastroenterologist specializing in digestive health of the elderly, explains, excessive flatulence in the elderly is often multifactorial and bad understood. Many professionals still advise only to eliminate certain foods, when they should actually focus on the addition of others that promote balance. Digestive. The positive nutritional approach, based on inclusion and not just restriction, has shown much more lasting results. Donna Helena, 76, shares her experience. I suffered so much from gases that I started refusing invitations to lunch and dinner with friends. I was afraid of past shame. I consulted several doctors who only gave me food lists to avoid, which made my diet increasingly restricted and bland. He was, when I found a nutritionist specializing in geriatrics who suggested adding certain foods to my diet instead of just removing others. The difference was impressive. In a few weeks, I was able to resume my social life without that constant concern. Let's now know the 5 foods that can transform your digestive health and significantly reduce the problem of excessive flatulence. Food number 1, fennel, the powerful natural carminative. Fennel, Feniculum vulgare, head our list for a convincing reason. It is possibly the most effective natural carminative available in nature. Rich in anetol, rugol, fenchone and other volatile compounds, this millennial plant offers rapid and lasting relief for multiple digestive problems, especially the excessive flatulence that affects people over 60, as fennel helps combat flatulence. Exceptional carminative properties: the essential oils of fennel reduce the gases formation in the digestive tract and facilitate the elimination of the already trained, decreasing the abdominal distension. Antispasmodic action: relaxes the muscles of the gastrointestinal tract, allowing gases move without being trapped in painful intestinal pockets. Stimulation of digestive enzymes: increases the production of enzymes that decompose Efficiently foods, reducing substrates available for fermentation. Bacterial, selective antimicrobial effect, reduces populations of intestinal bacteria that produce large amounts of gases without harming microbe. Beneficial ODA. A study published in the Journal of Gastrointestinal Disorders accompanied 87 adults, over 65 who suffered from abdominal distension and excessive flatulence. Participants who consumed fennel tea, 2 grams of infusion seeds, 3 times a day for 14 days have been an average reduction of 74% in the production of intestinal gases, measured by specific respiratory technique, as well as improvement, significant in digestive comfort and quality of life. Dr. Fernando Alves, specialist in herbal medicine applied to digestive disorders, explains, the fennel differential is in its multiple approach to the problem of flatulence. Not only reduces gas production through its effects, antimicrobials and enzymes, but also facilitates the elimination of gases already formed more comfortably and controlled. It's like having multiple medicines in one natural remedy. Mr. Jose, 82, shares his transformation. I had so many gases that my belly was constantly swollen and painful. It was embarrassing and limited my social life. My daughter suggested that I take fennel tea after meals. In a few days, I've noticed a difference. After 2 weeks, the problem had reduced, so much so that I went back to lunch with friends without worry. Today, always, I carry fennel seeds on my bag. They are my secret to digestive comfort. How to incorporate fennel into the diet. Fennel tea, the most effective form for fast results. Boil 1 teaspoon seeds in 250 milliliters of water for 5 to 10 minutes, strain and drink after meals. Seed chewing, chew half a teaspoon of seeds after meals provides immediate relief when the gases are already present. Culinary addition, incorporate fresh fennel seeds or leaves into salads, soups, and dishes with vegetables known to cause gases. Digestive fennel liquor, in small quantities, 15 to 20 milliliters, after meals. Heavy, it can be particularly effective for elderly without contraindications to alcohol. Nutritionist Dr. Claudia Ferreira suggests, to maximize the benefits against flatulence, I recommend a preventive and therapeutic approach. Preventively, take the fennel tea 15 to 20 minutes before meals known for causing gases. Therapeutically, combine tea with seed chewing after feeling the first signs of gas formation. Important tip, to enhance the carminative effect, one can occasionally combine fennel with other digestive herbs such as mint or chamomile, creating a particularly effective synergistic infusion against intestinal gases. Food number 2, ginger, the digestive anti-fermentation. Ginger represents one of the most effective interventions against flatulence in people over 60. Rich in gingerols, shoa, zingerona and others, bioactive compounds, this rhizome offers a multifaceted approach to reduce the excessive gases production and improve the entire digestive process. How ginger helps combat flatulence. Promotion of gastric emptying, accelerates the passage of food through stomach, reducing the time available for fermentation and gas production. Powerful enzyme stimulus, increases the production of pancreatic digestive enzymes, and the gut, improving the decomposition of proteins, fats and carbohydrates that, poorly digested, they would cause gases. Selective antimicrobial action, reduces the population of microorganisms producing gas in the gut without negatively affecting beneficial bacteria. Localized anti-inflammatory effect, decreases inflammation of the intestinal mucosa that often increases the sensitivity and perception of gases. Research conducted by the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul accompanied 64 adults over 70 who suffered from chronic flatulence. Participants who consumed 1 gram of ginger powder divided into 3 daily doses, for 3 weeks showed an average reduction of 63% in the episodes of flatulence, significant decrease in abdominal distension and improvement in intestinal fermentation. Dr. Mariana Costa, gastropediatrician and researcher in digestive nutrology, explains, ginger has a unique ability to organize the digestive process as a all. Not only treats the symptoms of flatulence, but addresses its causes: fundamental, poor digestion, excessive fermentation and microbiota imbalance. And, like a mother, straw that reorganizes the entire digestive orchestra. Donna Teresa, 79, shares her experience. I had such frequent gases that affected my sleep and daily activities. Take anti-flatulent medicines constantly, with temporary benefit. My doctor suggested that I have tea of fresh ginger 3 times a day. At first I was surprised by the spicy flavor, but I got used quickly. Within a few days, I noticed less abdominal swelling and reduction, significant in gases. After a month, the problem had reduced so much that I needed to resort to medicines. How to incorporate ginger into the diet: fresh ginger tea, boil 3 to 4 thin slices, approximately 10 grams, in 250 milliliters, water for 5 to 10 minutes, drink 15 to 20 minutes before meals. Crystallized ginger, chew small pieces, 5 grams, after meals known by cause gases, provides preventive relief. Strategic cuisine: incorporate grated ginger into food. Gases, such as beans, lentils and cabbage, significantly reduces its potential cause flatulence. Supplementation: for more severe cases, standard ginger capsules can be recommended by a health professional. Gastroenterologist Dr. Paulo Mendez recommends, for the elderly with problems, gas chronicles, I advise a biphasic approach with ginger, preventive, tea, before meals, and rescue, chewing small slices when the first signs of distension appear. This combination offers results higher than only preventive or therapeutic use. Important consideration: although generally safe, ginger at high doses can interact with anticoagulants and some drugs for diabetes and high blood pressure. Elderly in medical treatment should consult their doctor before starting consumption. Regular and therapeutic doses. Food number 3, yogurt with specific probiotics, the rebalancer of microbiota. Yogurt containing specific probiotics represents a fundamental intervention to combat flatulence in people over 60. Rich in strains, selected as Lactobacillus acidophilus NCFM, Bifidobacterium lactis by 07 and Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG. This functional food offers an approach directed to restore the balance of the intestinal microbiota, often committed to the elderly, as yogurt with specific probiotics helps combat flatulence. Recolonization with non-gas-producing bacteria introduces microorganisms that ferment food, producing fewer gases such as metabolic byproduct. Competition with methanogenic bacteria. Specific probiotics compete for space and nutrients with large microorganisms producing methane and other intestinal gases. Normalization of intestinal permeability strengthens the intestinal barrier, reducing the low-degree inflammation that contributes to visceral sensitivity and perception. Increased gases, improvement in lactose digestion and other sugars. Many elderly people develop partial lactose intolerance, and certain probiotic strains assist in the digestion of this and other frequently fermented sugars. A study published in the Journal of Digestive Diseases evaluated 93 adults with more than 65 years who suffered from abdominal distension and excessive flatulence. Participants who consumed 200 grams yogurt diaries containing Bifidobacterium lactis BB12 and Lactobacillus acidophilus LAM-5 for 5 weeks presented an average reduction, 51% in daily gas production, significant decrease in discomfort, abdominal and improvement in intestinal fermentation patterns measured by tests. Respiratory. Dr. Roberto Silva, a specialist in intestinal microbiota and aging, explains, intestinal dysbiosis, an imbalance in the composition of microbiota, is extremely common in the elderly due to changes in diet, medicines and changes, physiological. This dysbiosis favors microorganisms that produce large volumes of gases during fermentation. Yogurt with specific strains works as a microbial gardener, removing the weeds producing gases and planting beneficial flowers that produce anti-inflammatory substances instead of gases. Mr. Antonio, 77, shares his transformation. I suffered from constant gases that made my social life a martyrdom. Had already eliminated several foods from my diet, but the problem persisted. My new gastroenterologist, instead of restrict more food, recommended that I consume a probiotic yogurt, specific every morning. To my surprise, after 2 weeks, I noticed significant reduction in gases. After 2 months, I could even reintroduce foods that had eliminated. It was like recovering my social freedom. How to incorporate yogurt with probiotics into the diet. Morning consumption, 200 grams of yogurt with specific probiotics and fasting guarantees maximum colonization in the less competitive intestinal environment. Careful product selection, seek yogurts that specify the contained strains, and guarantee a minimum concentration of 1 billion UFC colonies by portion. Home yogurt with selected yeasts, for maximum control over quality and probiotic concentration. Home production using commercial starters. Specific is ideal. Regular and continuous consumption. For sustained purposes, consumption must be daily by at least 4 to 6 weeks initially. Nutritionist Dr. Lucia Mendonça warns, not every yogurt is effective against flatulence. Products with a lot of sugar or generic strains may even get worse. Problem. Search for products that specifically mention Bifidobacterium strains, Lactis BB12, Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG or Lactobacillus acidophilus NCFM, which have scientific proof for gases reduction. Personalized tip, individuals with lactose sensitivity can opt for yogurts fermented for extended periods, 24 to 48 hours, in which bacteria consume most lactose, or alternatives of plant yogurts fermented with cultures. Probiotic. Food number 4, cumin, the concentrated carminative, cuminum, Cuminum cyminum, far beyond a simple culinary spice, represents one of the most powerful natural carminations to combat flatulence in people over 60. Rich in cumin aldehyde, thymol, eugenol and other oils, essential. This millennial condiment offers a simple, effective and scientifically proven to reduce production and facilitate the elimination of gases. Intestinal. How the cumin helps to combat flatulence. Specific enzymatic stimulation increases the production of digestive enzymes, pancreatic and intestinal, that decompose completely proteins and carbohydrates. Complexes before they can be fermented by gas-producing bacteria. Exceptional carminative properties. The essential oils of the cumin reduce the tension in the intestinal muscles, allowing accumulated gases to move more easily and are eliminated without discomfort or distension. Selective antimicrobial action selectively reduces the population of bacteria, hydrogen and methane producing intestinal without harming beneficial bacteria, producers of short-chain fatty acids. Antispasmodic effect, decreases irregular intestinal contractions that can arrest gas bags in colon segments, causing localized pain and distension. A survey published in the Digestive Diseases and Sciences studied 73 adults with over 68 years who suffered from irritable bowel syndrome with a predominance of gases and distension. Participants who consumed 300 milligrams of powder cumin times a day before meals for 4 weeks had a 67% reduction in intestinal gas production, significant decrease in abdominal discomfort and improved quality of life related to digestive symptoms. Dr. Helena Castro, a specialist in traditional medicine applied to disorders, digestives, explains, the cumin has a fundamental advantage over others, carminatives, your ability to work both preventively and therapeutically. When consumed before meals, the whole process optimizes digestive, reducing gas production. When consumed after the formation of gases, acts relaxing the gut and facilitating its elimination without pain or discomfort. Donna Clara, 83, shares her experience. I had so much flatulence that avoided leaving home. It was embarrassing and painful. My granddaughter, who studies nutrition, suggested that I add cumin to meals and also prepare a tea with the seeds. In just 1 week, I noticed expressive difference. The gases diminished dramatically and, when they still occurred, were eliminated without those horrible pains. It was a transformation that returned my confidence to resume my social life. How to incorporate cumin into the diet. Spice P. Preventive. Add 1/4 to ½ teaspoon of cumin seeds. During the preparation of legumes, cruciferous vegetables and other known foods, for causing gases. Cumin tea, for fast relief, prepare an infusion with ½ teaspoon, slightly crushed seeds in 250 milliliters of boiling water. 5-10 minutes, strain and drink after meals. Cumin powder before meals, consume 1/4 teaspoon with a little water 15 minutes before the main meals. Cumin water for the day, leave 1 teaspoon seeds in 1 liter of water. At night, filter in the morning and consume throughout the day. Gastroenterologist Dr. Marcos Oliveira suggests, for the elderly with problems, flatulence chronicles, I recommend what I call 360-degree strategy with cumin. Use the seeds in the cooking of potentially problematic foods. Consume some dust before meals and keep tea available too. Moments of discomfort. This complete approach provides results superior to any anti-flatulent drug available. Cultural tip: several traditional cuisines already instinctively incorporate the cumin to dishes with potential to cause gases, from Brazilian beans with cumin to the Indian curry and hummus Arabic. These ancestral combinations have a scientific basis, proven. Food number 5, peppermint, the aromatic intestinal relaxer. Completing our list of transformative foods to combat flatulence. After 60, we have the peppermint, Mentha piperita, an aromatic herb with powerful action on the digestive system. Rich in menthol, mentona, limonene and others bioactive compounds, the peppermint offers a refreshing and highly effective for reducing intestinal gases and associated discomfort. As the peppermint helps combat flatulence, relaxation of the intestinal muscles, menthol acts as a natural antispasmodic, relaxing the smooth muscle of the intestine and allowing the gases to move more easily without being stuck in contracted segments. Carminative properties, facilitates the expulsion of gases from the digestive tract in a smooth and controlled, reducing distension and discomfort. Collective effect, stimulates the production and release of bile, improving the digestion of fats that, when poorly digested, can contribute to gas production. Selective antimicrobial action, reduces excessive growth of microorganisms. Gas producers, without eliminating the beneficial microbiota. A study published in the Journal of Gastroenterology and Hepatology accompanied 86 adults over 70 with symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome and excessive flatulence. Participants who consumed peppermint tea, 1.5 grams, of dry leaves in infusion, 3 times a day for 30 days have reduced, average of 59% in the episodes of flatulence, significant decrease in abdominal pain, associated with gases and improvement in quality of life scores. Dr. Carlos Eduardo Costa, specialist in neurogastroenterology and disorders, intestinal functional, explains, the peppermint has a fascinating mechanism of action. It directly affects calcium channels in the smooth intestinal muscles, normalizing disorganized contractions that hold gases. Also, through the olfactory digestive reflex, the simple aroma of mint already starts a waterfall of reactions that prepare the digestive system to work more efficiently. Mr. Paulo, 76, shares his transformation. I suffered from gases and swelling, abdominal that worsened throughout the day. At night, pain and distension often do not. They let me sleep well. A friend suggested to me to have peppermint tea after meals and before bed. The change was surprising. In the early days, I realized that the gases dissipated more easily, without causing so much pain. After a few weeks of regular use, my abdomen was rarely distended as before. It was like rediscovering the digestive comfort I hadn't had for years. How to incorporate peppermint into the diet. Peppermint tea, infusion of 1 to 2 teaspoons of dry leaves, or 1 fresh leaves, in boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes, consumed after meals or when there is discomfort. Diluted essential oil, for more powerful effects, 1 drop of mint essential oil, pepper in 1 teaspoon of honey or in warm water, always, under guidance, professional. Fresh chewed leaves, direct consumption of 2 to 3 fresh leaves after meals, provides immediate relief to many elderly. Enteric capsules, for more severe cases, there are mint oil formulations, pepper in enteric coating capsules that release the oil directly in the intestine, under medical prescription. Nutritionist Dr. Marcia Torres recommends, for the elderly with associated flatulence, reflux, it is important to consume warm and non-hot peppermint tea, less 1 hour after meals. For those with flatulence associated with constipation, I suggest combining mint with fennel seeds, creating a synergistic effect. Important consideration, in some individuals with severe gastroesophageal reflux, the peppermint can occasionally aggravate symptoms. In these cases, start with small doses and evaluate the individual response. How to create a personalized anti-tapes strategy. Now that we know the 5 transformative foods to combat flatulence after 60 years, let's understand how to combine them in a strategy, practical and personalized. Basic protocol: anti-flatulence for the elderly. Morning. Breakfast, yogurt with specific probiotics, 200 milliliters. Cumin tea or peppermint 30 minutes after. Before lunch, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder with water 15 minutes before the meal. After lunch, fennel tea or chewing of their seeds. Before dinner, 15 to 20 minutes ginger tea before meal. After dinner, mint tea or combination of fennel and mint. Gastroenterologist Dr. Ricardo Castro recommends, for faster results, in cases of chronic flatulence, I suggest an initial intensive protocol of 15 days, where all 5 foods are incorporated daily according to the scheme above. After this period, most elderly are already experiencing significant improvement and can customize the protocol, identifying which interventions bring greater benefit. Individual adaptations for specific conditions. For predominantly morning flatulence, emphasize probiotic yogurt and ginger in the morning. Add cumin to breakfast. Reduce fermentative foods at night. For predominantly nocturnal flatulence, emphasize peppermint and fennel at night. Use cumin in the preparation of dinner. Consume ginger tea before bed. For flatulence associated with specific foods, add cumin directly to the cooking of legumes. Prepare specific digestive teas to accompany problem foods. Consume probiotics especially on days when fermentation foods will be ingested. In addition to food, anti-tapeworm habits. To maximize the benefits of anti-gaze foods, some habits, complementary or fundamental. Conscious chewing pattern. Dr. Paulo Monteiro, Gastropediatra, explains, swallow air during meals. Aerophagia is a frequent and underrated cause of flatulence in the elderly. Establish the habit of counting 20 to 30 mastigations per serving of food not only improves digestion, but significantly reduces the amount of air swallowed, decreasing gases of non-bacterial origin. Light postprandial physical activity. A walk of 10 to 15 minutes after meals stimulates intestinal motility. Adequate, facilitating the traffic of gases and avoiding their accumulation in segments of the colon. Strategic body positioning. Physiotherapist Dr. Cristina Alves emphasizes, specific positions can make it easier to release of accumulated gases. For the elderly, I recommend lying in the lateral decubitus, left for 5 to 10 minutes after meals, followed for a few minutes in position, on their knees and elbows supported, similar to the prayer position. This sequence uses the intestinal anatomy in favor of the mobilization and elimination of gases. When seeking professional help, although flatulence is usually a benign functional problem, certain signs indicate need for medical evaluation. Sudden beginning of excessive flatulence without apparent cause, exceptionally strong or altered odor gases, flatulence accompanied by involuntary weight loss, severe or asymmetrical abdominal distension, flatulence associated with significant changes in the intestinal standard. Geriatra Dr. Henrique Mello emphasizes, the nutritional approach is extremely effective for functional flatulence in the elderly, but should be delayed the investigation of significant changes that may indicate conditions that require intervention. Specific doctor. Conclusion. Recover digestive comfort and social freedom. When we complete our journey through the 5 transforming foods to combat flatulence: fennel, ginger, yogurt with probiotics, cumin and peppermint, it is evident that nature offers us powerful solutions to restore the digestive balance, even after 60 years, as summarizes Dr. Fernanda Costa, specialist in geriatric integrative medicine. Excessive flatulence should not be accepted as an inevitable part of aging. With the proper nutritional approach, the vast majority of the elderly can experience significant reduction of this problem without resorting to medicines, synthetic that often bring side effects without treating the causes. Fundamental. Imagine participating in social events without constant concern with gases. Intestinal. Visualize yourself enjoying varied meals without the fear of discomfort that would come later. Think about rediscovering the pleasure of a comfortable abdomen, without distension, allowing you to focus on the activities and relationships that they really matter in your life. This is not an empty promise, but a concrete possibility for most elderly who suffer from chronic flatulence. And the best starts with simple choices, and accessible in your next meal. How about starting today? Perhaps with a comforting cup of fennel tea after lunch, a hint of cumin in the preparation of dinner, or a relaxing tea of peppermint before bed. Your digestive system, and your social life, thank you.